Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Carletta Traylor on your computer screen once again. I hope everybody is having a lovely Thursday. I'm actually here right now because I want to present you with a four-part series. I call this Serious Discussion Topics. And the topic of discussion for today is domestic violence. Now, I'm pretty sure we all know what domestic violence is, but just in case a young child or somebody who may not understand the meaning of that term doesn't know, domestic violence is the act of any sort of infliction of physical harm upon another person, whether it be punching, slapping, kicking, shoving, biting, etc., etc. So without me even having to say anything else about it, we should all know that domestic violence is wrong. It shouldn't happen, but the fact that it does happen, it needs to stop, and it needs to stop now. And I want to discuss a few factors that go into domestic violence. The first factor that I want to discuss is this idea that a person deserves the violence that comes to them. Okay, first of all, let me say, there is never, and I repeat, never an excuse to physically put your hands on another person. It does not matter whether or not you came in from work, you're tired, they're yelling and screaming and arguing with you. If that's the situation, if that's the case, then you need to just walk away. Because walking away truly does show that you're the bigger person in that situation. Because too many people seem to let their emotions get the best of them to the point where they don't really think about what they're doing before they do it. And before you know it, all of a sudden somebody's laying down, either punched, kicked, bloody nose, black eye, broken tooth, whatever the case may be. But that's the first thing. No one ever deserves any sort of domestic violence against them. Because I understand, some people may say, well, I came in from work, I was tired, I was stressed. All of a sudden he or she came in here arguing, bickering, fussing for no reason at all. They saw I was tired, but they continued to pressure me. You know what? Now, I won't lie. I'll be completely 100% honest with you. There are situations where, for some unknown reason, people do want to push you. They want to push your buttons because they want to get a reaction out of you. But what you have to realize is that's their ignorance talking. If there's somebody that you love, that you care deeply about, sometimes for some unknown reason a person just feels the need to try to push your buttons, but you have to be the bigger person in that situation. You have to understand that regardless of who started what, hitting, kicking, or physically abusing a person is not the answer to your problems. As a matter of fact, that won't solve your problems. That'll only create more problems. So that's the first factor that I wanted to address. There is never, ever a reason that somebody deserves to be physically abused. If you're the sort of person you feel like it's your fault that you've been hit, if I didn't do this, if I didn't do that, maybe he or she wouldn't have done this to me, you need to stop thinking that way right now. Because no one, and I repeat, no one deserves to be physically abused regardless of the situation. Now, the second thing that I want to talk about is mainly a debate, because especially if you watch the news, you watch these different cases, things that continuously happen on a daily basis, day in and day out. So many people say it's not okay for a man to hit a woman, but it is okay for a woman to hit a man. Now, let me be the first person to say that is not true, that is a lie, that is false. The thing about it is, though, one thing I will say, it seems like when it comes to the matters of the law, it seems like if a woman hits a man, there does seem to be a less severe punishment against a woman as opposed to whether or not a man hit a woman. And I'll tell you the reason why. Because ladies, I understand there may be ladies listening, and yes, we are fighting, we want to be equal, we want to be strong, but one thing you have to realize, ladies, I'm not saying in all cases, but in general, in the majority of cases, yes, men are physically stronger than women. So if you think about it, in most situations, a man's hit or punch will be more effective to a woman as opposed to a woman's hit or punch being to a man. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't strong women, because there are some very strong women in the world, and there are very strong women who are stronger than a lot of men. So in that case, maybe a woman's punch or kick is more severe than a man's. But I'm saying in general, if you look at things from a greater standpoint, if you look at the bigger picture, in most cases, if a man hits, kicks, punches, does anything to a woman, it will be more severe than if a woman does it to her. So in that sense, yes, if a man hits a woman, it is more severe as opposed to a woman hitting a man. But the way that I see it, gender shouldn't mean anything, because either way you look at it, a man should not hit a woman should not hit a man. And and I understand people may say, what if somebody's attacking me? I understand you have to defend yourself. If it comes to a matter of self-defense, that's a different story. But we're not talking self-defense right now. We're strictly talking either a man hitting a woman or a woman hitting a man over real minuscule, petty things. So the way I see it, it doesn't matter if you're a man, doesn't matter if you're a woman. Yes, men are physically stronger. Yes, in most cases, if a man hits a woman, it will be more severe than a woman hitting a man. But that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't give women a right to hit men. Because, I feel like some women, let's be honest with me, some women love to test the system. They feel like because I'm a woman, because I'm classified as quote unquote being physically weaker than a man, I can hit him and kick him and do whatever I want to do and I can get away with it. Ladies, that's wrong. That's not the way to think. That's not true. It doesn't matter if you're stronger, if he's stronger. You shouldn't hit him. He shouldn't hit you. Point blank, period. You should not be hitting each other. If you're in a situation where you feel like you have to hit each other in order to come to an agreement or in order to like make your point, then the two of you don't need to be together. The two of you don't need to be around each other. Because yes, in that sense, because men are physically stronger than women in the majority of cases, yes, you know, the government and the police will look at them more severely than they do a woman. But the way I see it, it should go both ways. It doesn't matter if you're a man, doesn't matter if you're a woman. If you hit anybody, whether it be males against females, females against males, males against males, females against females, you can even say humans versus animals. It does not matter what the situation, it does not matter who's on both sides of the spectrum. Nobody should be physically abusing another person. That's just it, point blank, period. So there's one more issue that I want to address. Actually, there are a few things I want to address, but I just don't want to make the video too long because, again, there will be several other parts to this video. So, like, another thing I want to talk about, you know, again, is the punishment. Because, like I said before, it seems like in the majority of cases, not all, but I'm talking generally again, men, if a man hits a woman, there is somewhat of a more severe punishment than if a woman hits a man. You know, sometimes, you know, obviously, there are a lot of, you know, laws and acts that, you know, have gone into effect to protect a woman in the case that she is physically abused. But if you think about it from the opposite end of the spectrum, there aren't that many laws that protect men from being abused by women, because so many people don't think that a woman can abuse a man. I mean, number one, a woman can abuse a man. See, a lot of times people underestimate the power and the wrath of women. When a woman is mad, when a woman is fed up, there's no limit to the things that she can do to a person, regardless of who they are, male, female, how big or strong they think they are or that they are. The fact of the matter is, in the majority of cases, if a woman hits a man, the police just may shrug, you know, and tell the man, well, whatever you did, you shouldn't have done it, and walk away. The woman may not be arrested, she may not be charged, she may be able to just go on about her business. But as soon as a man hits a woman, let's be completely honest, as soon as a man hits a woman, you know, she calls the cops, they come, they arrest him, they throw him in jail. Now, yes, should he be thrown in jail? Yes, but the way I see it, it should go both ways. If a woman hits a man, if she abuses a man, she should face the same penalty as a man. Because, like I said, gender should mean nothing. It doesn't matter who's on both ends of the spectrum. Domestic violence is wrong either way you look at it. Nobody should be hitting anybody. But I do see the point of people who are saying, well, yes, men still seem to get a more severe punishment. They do get a more severe punishment. I think it is on the basis that men are, in most cases, physically stronger than women, so their hits and their kicks and their punches and their bites and their etc. may be more severe. But the way I see it, that shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter who's stronger, whether it's the man or the woman who's inflicting the damage on the other person. Either way you look at it, if you physically abuse a person for no reason at all, you should be arrested, you should be sentenced, you should go to jail, point blank, period. Because, you know, I'm just tired of people like constantly saying, you know, well, it's not fair that men can't hit women, but women can hit men. No, that's not true. Nobody can hit anybody. But for some odd reason, the way our political system works, because a woman is thought to be weaker, they seem to get a lesser punishment as opposed to a man. But the way I see it, the way to avoid these problems, the way to avoid these double standards, nobody should hit anybody. Point blank, period. Men don't hit women. Women don't hit men. Men and women don't hit children. And humans don't abuse animals. Because I feel like if we can understand it, if we can come to understanding and learn to love one another, care for one another, respect one another, protect one another, and help each other to live the best possible lives we can live, we won't have these problems. Because I feel like, you know, no matter which way you look at it, I feel like the reason why domestic violence occurs because people don't know how to handle situations. So with that being said, I also want to say, if you're the kind of person you like to instigate, you like to cause trouble, don't. First of all, let's put it this way. If somebody walks in from work, you know, or something happened, they've had a bad day, they're angry, they're under pressure, they're stressed, don't come in there arguing, bickering, just because you feel like you can. Because if you know a person has a temper, especially, if they have a temper and you know that they can blow it any minute, don't tempt them. Because I feel like so many people, more so women than men, like to tempt a person when they're angry because they expect them to react because they feel like they can use the system to their advantage. And that's not right. It never was right. It never will be right. So please, 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 if you see a person that's upset, they're mad, they're angry for whatever reason at all, leave them alone, let them be, allow them time to cool off, so that way there won't be a situation, okay? Because I feel like too many people want to cause a situation because they want to see what comes of the situation. And it makes no sense. That's not smart. That's not intelligent. Let's not do that. So either way, don't pressure people. Don't push each other's buttons. Just if one of you is angry, walk away, give the other space, give yourselves time to cool off, and solve your problems in a rational manner. Have your discussions in a rational manner. But with all this being said, the main thing that I want to say today is that domestic violence, no matter in what shape, or form, no matter who's inflicting the pain on who, whether it be man against woman, woman against man, man against man, woman against woman, human against animal. It does not matter. Domestic violence needs to stop, and the change starts with you. So I hope that we all get the message. I hope that we all work to stop domestic violence in all ways. And I hope that we can all, continue to live our lives the way that they were meant to be lived, which is very happy, carefree, without all this unnecessary worry and stress that goes along with domestic violence. Let's stop domestic violence. It is wrong. If a man hits a woman, he's not a real man. If a woman feels like she needs to hit a man, she's not a real woman. And if anybody is hitting anybody for no reason at all, then they're not as great of a person as they think they are. It needs to stop. It has to stop. Let's start making a change now. Thank you very much.